Now the other number you need to know is a little factoid, because you know I realize that Barack Obama inherited everything that's ever gone wrong with him, right? Including his own decisions, right? No president in history, none, has ever improved his approval rating during the midterm election year in the last 40 years. Not one of them. In other words, Obama's at 46%, depending on the poll. Marist had him at 44. I think Rasmussen had him at 45. CNN had him at 47. MSNBC has him at 102.
Finally, a good one. Censure that guy.
Hear, hear.
Oh, Senator Sam asked you what I want to talk about before, but I got to be quick here. They didn't come here. They came here to see you. You were ordering it?
You have my time.
The reason why Obama, and what the senator would like me to tell you, the reason why Obama is in trouble is because, well, you can think of a lot of reasons. But here's the reality. Presidents don't do well when they pick fights with the American electorate. In fact, good leadership is when you take over a divided group, whether it's a central committee, a Cub Scout unit, or in the nation, is you start with a very narrow agenda for which there is consensus, you get your victory under your belt, and then you broaden your reach, right? Obama did the very opposite of that. If you think about Reagan, what did Reagan do? He concentrated on tax cuts and prosperity and American prestige. And he brought people together with that focused agenda and did something that no president in modern history has done. And that is claim a group from the other side. So you have, what do you call them? Reagan Democrats, right? To tell you how rare that is, no other president's done that. I mean, think about it. If you were a Carter Republican, please raise your hand. You are laughing, but imagine that joke in a union hall. If you're a Reagan Democrat, raise your hand. And the answer was a lot went up. But Obama has done the exact opposite. Somebody told guys here. Obama's done the exact opposite. Right out of the box, he picked a fight with Americans over what? The stimulus plan, right? Or the so-called stimulus plan. There is no majority of Americans spend $1.5 trillion in debt each year. That was a fight he picked with Americans, and immediately the Republicans were divided. Instead of picking an issue they could come together on, right? Number two was cap and trade. Well, as I like to say, you could put an R in that first word somewhere, right? Another fight with Americans over cap and trade, right? Bad idea. I got you to laugh twice.
You're on a roll.
Did you pay him? Thank you. Keep him under control. Good. Two fights he picked with Americans. That bill didn't even go anywhere. Third fight, of course, healthcare. There is no majority to take away your healthcare rights and take over 17% of the economy. Huge fight. And the fourth one, of course, is on civilian terror trials. A ludicrous idea, and he's taking it, and he's fighting with New York over having them there. Think about those four major initiatives and how divided the country is over those four issues. Where has he brought us together? And that is how you manage a 67% approval rating all the way down to 44%. Because you're fighting with Americans and being ideological instead of bringing them together. So we have an enormous opportunity this fall if. And the if is if we come together. Now I am very excited up and down this state about the nature of our candidates on the ballot. We have all new people, a total infusion of people running for new offices. We're not like the Democrats where you get the ultimate retread in Jerry Brown, right? The ultimate retread in Barbara Boxer, right? Who needs these people? The only new kid on the block for the Democrats is Gavin Newsom, right? You know you're hurting when. And by the way, as someone who lives in the Bay Area, let me tell you, take them, all right? When people talk about illegal immigration and offense, I say right around San Francisco. That'll do it, though, right around the whole way. Enormous opportunity this fall, but if we've got to come together with a clear, concise message about limited government. That's why when Ted Gaines stands up and says, we need to lower tax rates to help our economy, that's the kind of voice that we need. When Sam Olmsted stands up for all the law and order bills and all of that, that clear message is what we need. And when Chuck DeVore talks about government out of control, that's the message we need, and we need that clarity. I'm telling you, if we stay within those parameters in this state and nationally, and if Nancy and Harry, and if that doesn't sound like a bad sitcom, I don't know what it is. And if Nancy and Harry continue to try and jam down healthcare and everything else down our throat, I am convinced of three things. That we can win 55 seats in the House, that Hillary Clinton will challenge Obama in 2012, and in 2012, Nancy Pelosi will be out of the US Congress, because when you lose at that level, you ain't got nowhere to go. All right. I'm told by the Grand Poobah, and I mean that really in his, well, never mind. Anyway, I kid with George, because he can hurt me. We're going to break for dinner, they're going to serve dinner, and then we'll start with our speakers. Thank you very much for coming this evening.